When playing singles, should you go for a down the line passing shot or a cross court passing shot more often? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the targets and where you need to aim those passing shots, cross court and down the line, how much spin you should put on the ball based on the direction you're hitting, and ultimately we're going to talk about the situations where you can hit either down the line or cross court and have success. So first, let's talk about the down the line pass and the targets where you can make this ball land on the other side of the court. So this is you, your opponent's at the net, and you're going to go for a down the line passing shot. When going down the line with your pass, you can make your ball land short, medium, and deep. You have the entire length of the court, which is 78 feet long. When you are hitting cross court, though, you do not have that luxury. It is a shorter distance cross court with your passing shot because you need the ball to land short in the service box. I teach right near the side tee where the service line hits the singles line. The reason for this is because where your opponent is standing, if you hit a cross court passing shot deep, it never gets deep because it gets volleyed by the opponent into the open court. In fact, if you just stand here and you look here with your opponent at the net, if they just stick their racket out, you'll have to look through their strings to see the target, which means the ball is going to have to travel through their strings, which it won't do, in order to hit a deep target on the cross-court pass. So when you are hitting a cross-court pass, your target must be short in the service box as the only way to keep the ball away from the volleyer. That means when you're hitting the ball down the line, again, you have a longer distance, and when you're going cross court, you have a shorter distance to hit into. Now, somebody asked a question on a YouTube video a few days ago, and they said, wait a minute, Ryan, because I touched upon this idea a little bit. And they said, you in previous videos have mentioned that in singles, the cross court is the longer distance versus down the line. Why is it reversed now? The reason is because that's when you have baseline to baseline action. And you're back here, and you're going to go cross court. Well, when you're cross court, there's no net person. So you have 82.5 feet. The court is 4.5 feet longer diagonally than it is straight ahead. And since there's no net person who's going to volley it, you can hit the ball nice and deep in the court. But once your opponent comes to the net, you still have the same length down the line, but you do not have the same length cross court because if you hit the ball deep, again, it goes through them. So you must aim your shot cross court as the only way to keep the ball away from them. So now let's talk about the spin rate that you're going to want to put on these shots. When it comes to the down the line, you can put any amount of spin that you want. You can flatten it out and put very little spin on the ball and hit the ball deep. You can really shape that ball and put a lot of spin on it and make the ball land short. That's great in case you want to just dip the ball more low to them and not just go for a blast and be more accurate with a little bit of spin and dip the ball down just in case they are going to get their racket on the ball, forcing them to volley up on a low backhand volley stretch. So that's a really great way to hit the ball. But you can make the ball land short, medium, and deep with any amount of spin that you would like. Just aim low over the net in order to keep that ball in. But when it comes to the cross-court pass, that's when you have to add more spin on the ball. So on average, the down-the-line pass is going to have a little less spin than the cross-court. We'll reverse it. The cross-court is going to have more spin than the down-the-line. If you are not aware of that difference, then what you'll end up doing when you go for the cross-court is hitting the ball long. You will hit the ball into the doubles alley too often, and obviously your opponent wins the point. Now, I'm willing to bet that some of you just corrected me, and you said, oh, he didn't mean to say long, he meant to say wide, right? Because if you hit the ball here while standing here with a cross-court pass, your opponent will say wide, but it wasn't wide. It was long. I didn't misspeak because you needed more spin, and that's why you'll see the pros use a more vertical swing path finishing above their head to get a lot of spin to get that ball to land shorter, really shaping the ball and getting that ball to land short. If you're someone who blasts flat cross-court passing shots, then the ball does not land here. It keeps traveling into the doubles alley and lands long of your target. So when the ball is hit cross court and it lands here, you didn't miss wide of your target, you missed long, so you needed to add more spin. Making that ball spin more will make the ball dip into the service box. Just that idea of understanding that you need to add more spin on the cross court, and you have the benefit of the longer distance down the line, that you can add whatever amount of spin you want on the down the line, is a game changer for people when it comes to the success of their passing shots. So now let's talk about when you can go for these. Well, your opponent, when you're playing singles, is not starting at the net. They had to start behind the baseline. That's how singles works. It's baseline to begin. So in order for your opponent to get to the net on you, they have to go through no man's land, they have to go through the service line, and that takes time. So let's say you hit the ball short, and they step one step inside the baseline, and they hit an approach shot. And they hit the approach shot over here, you're pulled over, and now they're coming forward. Well, this would be the time, in my opinion, when the cross court is the easiest, because by the fact that they're farther back, you do have more room to hit into cross court compared to if they're close to the net. And then it's very little room over here because they can easily put their racket over and cut off that angle. So if you're going to go for the cross court pass, I would do it right off of their approach shot as they're coming to the net, just as long as you're not in a lot of trouble. Because when you're in a lot of trouble and you're really stretching for that ball, it's not easy to put a lot of spin on the ball, which is needed, as we've talked about, for the cross court. When you are in this situation, you can absolutely go for the down the line as well. Remember, when you hit down the line, you have the entire length of the court. But also, we need to realize, just from 26 years of coaching experience, that most of your opponents do not hit great split steps. They do not split step properly in most cases. And I see pros not split stepping properly, and it really hurts their ability to change direction. So our recreational opponents are also not going to split step as often as they should, which means they are most likely running very fast as they come forward, which means when you go down the line, they're going to need, as they're coming in, to change direction at almost a 90-degree clip. They are going to have to come in, split step, and change basically 90 degrees to try to get your down the line passing shot. So the down the line works when your opponent is coming off of their approach shot too. It's not like you can only go cross court. The down the line works really well because they have to change direction in order to get to that ball. Now, you might be thinking, but why can't I just go cross court? Wouldn't they have to change direction to go this way? Not necessarily. They can just keep running forward, and they actually get in the way of your cross-court pass. See that? So opponents who do not split step do a great job of covering your cross-court pass because they kind of run into your cross-court pass, where the down the line really requires them to change direction. So when your opponent does get closer to the net, I would abandon the cross-court. There's very little room here. And that is why I would recommend that you hit down the line passing shots in most cases, no matter where your opponent is standing. You're going to see your winning percentage go up when you go for a down the line versus the cross court pass. Now, if you are looking for new single strategies to use against your toughest opponents, then I want you to pick up the Fuzzy Yellow Balls Singles Playbook. This thing is over 50 pages, strategy after strategy. And what's really cool is every pro strategy that you're going to learn, and yes, these are from the pros, it comes with a QR code. Just hold your phone or tablet up over the code, and up pops a 5-minute video of Will Hamilton from Fuzzy Yellow Balls teaching you exactly how to use each strategy. These strategies come from Craig O'Shaughnessy, the leading stats guy in the world, who's been hired by Novak Djokovic, of all people, to help him devise game plans based on the latest data of what is winning on the Pro Tour to beat his toughest opponents. So this is absolutely going to help you win more matches as well. To get one, simply use my link. It's in the description. I'm also going to pin it in the first comment. Now, if you're looking for new people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, maybe you're looking for leagues in your local area based on your level, or if you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for PlayYourCourt. And it's playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. The down the line passing shot is the superior passing shot. If you want to go for the cross court, please do it right off of your opponent's approach shot. That way you have enough room that even if you don't quite hit the passing shot you wanted, they're too far away and they cannot get to the ball. You use this information to be a smarter singles player, and there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.